And one of the players we'll be seeing in this one, Luol Deng.
And guys, Deng has developed into a very good shooter, especially off spot ups or maybe one dribble pull-ups. He's got range. He's developed that out to the three-point line, but he really likes to go to that mid-range area. One or two dribbles into the paint, he'll rise up, shoot right over the top.
But you know what I like about him most, Steve? Deng is a very well-balanced player. He does a lot of good things offensively, but he's just as good at the defensive end. He's a big key to his team's tough defense.
And just a single game trip away from Cleveland for the Cavaliers. They're down in 10th place in the East.
Yeah, guys, this is an opponent that's given them major problems in each of the first two meetings. Both losses for them this season. So, third time's a charm. We'll see.
I'm not quite sure what they need to do differently, Steve. I know they've devoted a ton of time to film work and trying to figure out ways they can improve and change the result. Not sure what it'll be, but I think it'll be a different approach.
And so the New Orleans Pelicans get the first points of the ball game. And that one's good, Irving.
Risky shot there. Size-wise, I mean, he easily comes out on the short end of the stick, so to speak.
With the nice high release, he had no problem getting it off and knocking it down.
Here's Roberts, averaging 9 points per contest. Inside, Ajinça, and the layup's good off the glass.
Boy, he made a nice little bounce pass there. We call that the pocket pass, and he did it well.
Irving attacking. About a minute played so far here in the first. To the paint. And Tristan Thompson on the bucket with the assist by Irving. Thompson's got his first points of the game. Here's Roberts, covered by Irving. Roberts dishes to Evans. The feed to Roberts. Now the pass to Miller. 6 on the shot clock. He kicks to Ajinça. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
You know, it's really hard to say that Lady Luck hasn't been smiling on the Cavs in the past few years. LeBron was lost a few years back, but ever since then, they've had tremendous luck in the NBA draft lottery and had the first overall pick in 2 of the last 3 years.
Now here's Waiters. We saw him with 19 points his last outing. Here's Roberts. The baseline J. Good on the shot. Going back to what you said about the Cavs, great luck for them indeed with 2 number 1s in 3 years. That's definitely how you turn a franchise around.
Well, you got to make sure you hit on those draft picks. And as of right now, I would say only Kyrie Irving is a sure thing. Dion Waiters, the jury's still out. Tristan Thompson looks like a nice player. He's getting better. And we'll find out with Anthony Bennett. You know, a lot of players in this league are so clever with the ball, they can make defenders look foolish. That's what Kyrie Irving does. I mean, he's just a magician with the ball.
And going back to Kyrie Irving, ambidextrous, they say, with the ball in his hand.
He really is. He can go both ways, and he plays with such great pace and energy offensively. Keeps the ball tight on the string, a true point guard, and I think his assist numbers will only climb as the offensive players around him continue to get better.
Steve was saying he was amphibious. I didn't understand that at all, Steve. Now here's Waiters after the missed 3 for Miller. Hawes inside. He's against Miller. Hawes, no luck. For the Cleveland Cavaliers, they won their last contest, that game against Brooklyn.
And their inside strength was so apparent in that win. They just blocked shots, controlled the lane, did a good job on the glass.
Very alert were they, Steve. Alert, aware, and reacted quickly to shot attempts in the post.
Miller against Deng. Evans outside. And there's the call on Kyrie Irving. That is his first foul of the game. A big group substitution here for Cleveland. 1:49 left in the first quarter of the game. Rivers kicks to Morrow. Shot clock at 6. Jack against Rivers, and it's good with time running down on the shot clock. The Cavaliers trail by 3. First quarter of play and just over 3.5 minutes in. And Jack, here we go. Banked in off the glass.
And they'd love to have a few more easy baskets like that to kind of set the tone for the rest of the game.
Here's Morrow. He picked up 15 points in their last win against Houston. Rivers against Jack. Rivers passes to Babbitt. Shot clock at 6. Rivers kicks to Babbitt. It's rebounded by Cleveland. Last time they met in Cleveland.
You know, you shoot the ball as poorly as they did that night, you're not going to win many games.
Well, Steve, it's not just difficult to win a game with low shooting percentages like theirs. It's nearly impossible.
Here's G. He picked up 12 points in their last win against Brooklyn. Zeller inside. He's covered by Withy, and that is good.
The entire defense was frozen-footed. Nobody picked up the shooter, Kevin.
For New Orleans, they've gone 50% from the field to this point, 4 of 8. Rivers kicks to Morrow. Passes it to Babbitt. Here's Morrow, averaging 8 points a game. Babbitt's shot is off. Here's G. And no good trying to get that one. So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. Cavaliers on top, leading by just 1. From the New Orleans Arena, back in a moment. And off we go, a close game now starting the second quarter. And from what you guys have seen so far from Cleveland, what's your take?
And a good start for this club. I like the way they played together, really moved the ball and did a nice job offensively.
Yeah, excellent ball movement, and it's paid off on the scoreboard, too.
Last game in New Orleans, they picked up the win against Houston.
And a lot of their scoring in that win came from unexpected places, from guys who don't typically get a lot of minutes.
And you know what? Those guys on the bench, they practice every day, too, even if they don't play every night. And that night, they were ready.
On the floor for Cleveland, getting going here in the second. Thompson and Verija at the 4 and 5. Kyrie Irving is out there with Jarrett Jack, and it's Dang in at the 3.
Boy, extremely opportunistic defense leading to those points there.
That dunk, Clark, coming within seconds of the steal.
Love the way they convert from defense to offense.
But that's what happens when you get all 5 guys on a string defensively ready to react and make a play.
And the Cavaliers making a change here. Waiters is checked in.
Guys, when his class came out, people thought Irving was the clear-cut #1 player, but I don't think anybody saw him taking the league by storm the way he has. It's almost like he surpassed all of his expectations already.
Now here's Rivers. Really played well against Houston in his last outing. As the playoffs near, let's take a look at the Western Conference standings. You look at the Spurs. They've continued to play strong basketball, if not utterly dominant, as the last part of the season grinds toward the playoffs. And it looks like, guys, they'll hold on to that #1 spot the whole way there. And checking out New Orleans. Not really any threat right now, as their record showing a lot more losses.
When I look at New Orleans, they've remained again this season on the losing side more often than not. This is a team that, not surprisingly, has continued to struggle.
And as much as most of us would love to kick off an extra long summer break, for NBA players, the postseason is what you live for. You want a short summer. You want to play deep into the playoffs.
It's deflected. Stolen by Rivers. Evans kicks to Morrow. Yes, and a nice assist from Evans. And a fun stat for Irving. He's just the 5th player, Steve, in NBA history to tally 3 consecutive 30-point games before his 21st birthday. It's remarkable.
You know, you look at him now at commercials. I mean, the play, the caliber of play. This guy's a rising star.
Stolen by Evans. And a fast break now for the Pelicans. Evans leading the charge.
Well, one of his issues is he's a player that just does not excel at fighting through contact on his way to the rim.
And Dang, here we go. That's good. Dang's got the lead up to 7 now for the Cavs. Now Rivers. Right now averaging 7 points a game. Plays it up and banks it in. Irving with it. Right side, Irving. And it comes off the front of the rim.
Really high quality shot there, just a little off with his release.
That miss right there will definitely leave him shaking his head. You know, guys, you look at Austin River, and he has the speed and elusiveness that you want from a player with his style and size. He doesn't have any problem getting by somebody to get into the lane, but for him to be a positive contributor, he's got to learn to finish with more consistency, and that's just a matter of work and time.
And for Rivers, a great ball handler, but he's a little undersized and doesn't have that elite athleticism, I guess I want to say.
I think that made it tougher for him to adjust to the size of players at the NBA level. You know, he's got a scorer's mindset, but he needs to work on how he's going to beat the second defender. Maybe it's a pull-up jump shot, a floater, or drawing a foul.
Now, here is Irving. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Brooklyn.
Well, it looks like he's finally found his footing in this game. His first quarter was a real struggle, but he's gotten it going now.
Rivers with it, guarded by Waiters. Now Rivers. He has 6. Evans, right side. Somehow ignores the tight D and gets the layup. Evans has got his first points in this one. The Cavaliers leading by 3. Irving dishes to Waiters. Outside Irving. Now here's Waiters. He's guarded by Rivers. They swipe it. Evans inside. He's covered by Dang, and it's Evans missing. There's the dish to Dang. Rejected by Evans. And that'll be Cleveland as it goes out of bounds. Cavaliers retain possession. Tyler Zeller's checked in for Cleveland. Alonzo G comes in for Luol Deng. We've got 1:28 left to play here in the half. Some nice passing by Cleveland here. 5 to shoot. Here's Zeller. Lays it up and in on the nice reverse. And the Cavaliers lead by 5.
What a finish with that hoop.
Rivers off a pick from Roberts. Rivers passes to Ajinça. He dishes it to Miller. Good.
They have repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid dividend.
Yeah, it sure has, Clark. I mean, with as many points as they've gotten in the paint, they really haven't had to do much on the perimeter.
Here's Jack after the made shot for Miller. Zeller setting the pick for Jack. Dishes to G. And there's another one for the Cavaliers. 40 seconds left here in the second. Rivers kicks to Ajinça. To the inside. Soft touch off the glass. He has 7.
I really think that's the area they want to work the ball into, and it takes passing like that to get it done.
Kicks it to Hawes. That's tipped.
This should be the last possession of the quarter if they play it right.
And if their clock management's good, it will be.
Roberts dishes to Rivers. Here's the teardrop. That's good. Now just a 1-point Cavalier lead. 7 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Jack for 3. No good, trying to beat the buzzer. And the first half ends in a close one. Cavaliers lead by 1. And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Well, thank you, Kevin. I'm here with Coach Brown. And, Coach, in the first half, you turned it over quite a bit, and you haven't gotten much help from your bench. How concerned are you?
The supporting cast needs to step up, but in the same breath, we got to take care of the ball. We're trying to make too many home run plays, and this ain't baseball, so let's keep it simple.
Thank you so much, Mike. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Doris. And, folks, the halftime show is coming up next. And then it's on to the third quarter. We'll step aside right now.
And now, brought to you by Sprint. Happy Mother's Day, everyone. I love my mom. I also love hoops. So let's get to the halftime show. The Cleveland Cavaliers ahead against New Orleans. The second chance buckets certainly adding up in this one. They pounded the offensive glass. We've seen Kyrie Irving producing at will against New Orleans. He's carrying the team, doing everything he can to put them over the top. Meanwhile, the Pelicans not to be outdone. They've been very focused on the defensive end, generating steals, showing a high-level activity and aggression defensively. Austin Rivers playing impressively so far. They may not have expected a first half like that, but I promise you the coach is drawing up plays for him in the locker room right now. And around the league we go, plenty of...
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And as we return to the action here in New Orleans, a look at Bourbon Street.
Well, Mike Brown hired back to the Cleveland Cavaliers. I got a chance to know him a little bit when he's an assistant with the Pacers early in his coaching career and was let go by the Cavs back in 2010. Family laid down roots in Cleveland, and I think he's glad to be back.
Ryan Roberts out there with Tyreek Evans. Then it's Alexis Ajinça. Then it's Miller, and it's Aminu in at the 4. So that's the group out there for New Orleans.
Oh, Maestro, he is so good at making those lead passes, like conducting an orchestra.
There's the screen. Feeds it to Roberts. Roberts gets the screen from Evans, and the call is going to be, yes, it is, an illegal screen. And for Mike Brown, his firing, kind of a desperation move by the Cavs to try to keep LeBron James. Steve, how'd you analyze that?
Well, I'm not sure that LeBron actually wanted him gone, but, you know, he's a great defensive strategist, a guy who excels in player development. And give credit to him, he didn't burn any bridges when he left. He maintained strong relationships there in Cleveland, and it's great to see Mike Brown back there with the Cavaliers. And he came off that screen. The defense just couldn't get over the top. Beautiful play.
Yep, and without a hand in his face, he's going to bury those.
Aminu, the pass to Roberts. He feeds it to Evans. And there's the call. It's going to be an illegal screen.
Well, an illegal screen is one of the toughest calls for the official to make.
You know, I agree with you. You've got to have some sympathy for the referees when they have to make calls like that, but they get paid well, and they're the best in the business, so they can handle it.
And for those of you tuning in, we're about a minute into the second half. Irving attacking. Pass to Thompson. Pelicans with the rebound. Aminu's got his 5th rebound in this one. Here's Roberts. Pass to Evans. Nice defense from Dion Waiters.
Terrific job that time defending at the rim. I mean, it's not an easy task stopping that fella when he's headed to the bucket like that. Good job.
The 19-foot shot off the left rim and out.
That's one he knows he should have made.
And Roberts kicks to Aminu. Evans, a screen on Irving. Roberts dishes to Ajinça. To the middle, lock at 6. And that one's good.
You know, they're being very one-dimensional right now, going to the post every time. But if it works, you don't need another dimension.
Well, they're taking this defense to task, quite honestly. Every one of their last 10 points have come in the paint. Pelicans ended up being the name that New Orleans chose when it was all over. And I like the new look uniforms, but they had some other options as well that sounded pretty good to me. How about the brass? Because it gives nod to the music that New Orleans has popularized.
And first time out of the game called for New Orleans. Well, definitely a nice sounding name. Other options were the Swamp Dogs, Bull Sharks, the Mosquitoes. You know, Steve, all in all, you have to think they went the right way with the Pelicans.
I don't know. My personal favorite was the Rougarou. I don't even know what that means, but that was in the mix. Would have puzzled a lot of other people around the country besides me, but better than Mosquitoes, that's for sure. Pelicans was probably the right way to go.
Here's Evans. New Orleans needs to get off a shot. Here's Morrow. No good. Nice D from Dang.
Great close out there, forcing the errant shot.
Well, he made it a tough shot again. He didn't give up on it, and he got a hand up.
A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Thanks, Kevin. I got a chance to hear what Mike Brown was saying to the team. He urged his guys to pound the offensive boards, to follow every shot, and start cashing in on some putbacks and extending possessions. Those are likely not the last adjustments they make today, guys. There's still time left in this one. Back to you, Kevin.
Great. Thanks for the report, Doris. Evans. And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a three-point play.
Give an assist there, not for the pass, but for the solid screen set on the inside that freed him up and made the layup possible. You look at Tyreke Evans, and he has the physical tools to excel at all facets of the game, but one habit that he can get into which holds him back is that sometimes he can get caught watching the play instead of being part of it.
Looking at who's out there now for the Cavaliers. Zeller comes in for Tristan Thompson. And Jarrett Jack has subbed in for Waiters. Pelicans trail by 7. Rivers passes to Evans. Evans off the pick from Babbitt. From deep, Morrow. No luck. And Cleveland the other way now. And for Evans, so used to playing Steve with the ball in his hand.
Yeah, but the best slashers also can make those dive cuts without the ball on the weak side. And I think that's where Evans can possibly find some easy points playing that position.
Good. Morrow's got his second bucket of the game to go.
I'd say that fast break went according to plan.
Yeah, it sure did. A good job getting it started and a better job finishing it off.
Now here's Zeller. He's guarded by Withy. Jack with the three. Again, the miss by Jack. For New Orleans, they've gone 3 of 6 in the third quarter. 50% from the field. Morrow, no good.
The poor shooting from him this quarter. His shooting percentage nowhere near where he'd like it to be.
Irving double team. Here's Dang. Good, and the assist goes to Irving. Irving's got 4 assists in the game.
That's been their bread and butter in the second half. They've really knocked down their long-range shots.
Well, and as hot as they've been, there's no need to change their offense. Just continue to play the way you're playing. You're going to get open looks.
Reverse that one home. Now that was nice, real nice.
The agility on display.
Yeah, you love that body control. Oof.
Oh, that one had it all, guys. Power and grace. Just beautiful.
He got it up in time, but it wouldn't fall for him. The third quarter comes to a close. Cavaliers ahead. They're up by 6. From the New Orleans arena. Back in a moment. And we've reached the end of the third. And here now is our State Farm assist to the game, and Steve coming earlier on a three-pointer.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of good passes tonight, some on the interior. This one on the outside, setting up his teammate perfectly for that three-point look.
Pelicans trail by 6, so on the floor for Cleveland. Lonzo G and Tristan Thompson, the duo at forward. Dion Waiters is out there with Jarrett Jack, and it's Hawes in at the 5. Ajinça, the 19-footer, is on the money.
Now both of these clubs really in a groove here.
Already a high-scoring game, but it has become an offensive showcase down the stretch.
Rivers against Jack. Here's Thompson. Good on the 13-footer. And the Cavaliers lead by 6. Pelicans shooting the ball really well in this game, 58%. Here's Rivers, and he floats in for the easy 2. Credit the assist on that one.
You know what? That's what you like to see. A perfect pass leading him right into the shot. Didn't even have to break stride.
Jack for 3, and another 3 for Cleveland.
They're getting a bunch of their points outside of the paint. 3 of their last 5 buckets are from three-point range.
But the defense isn't making them earn it. I mean, those shots have just come on easy, open looks.
Here's Miller. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. It's on Spencer Hawes.
Well, this season, a new mascot, new team colors, and a brand new state-of-the-art 50,000 square foot practice facility for the Pelicans. It's not just a new paint job, folks. This is a franchise doing some exciting stuff.
Luol Deng is checked in for Alonzo G. And Jack kicks to Waiters. steps back and shoots. And Cleveland again with the bucket. And Clark, you mentioned the new colors for the Pelicans. No longer the purple, teal, and gold of the Hornets, but blue, gold, and red from the city flag of New Orleans. He looks pretty good.
It does look good. And remember the other connections. I mean, the blue is featured on the Louisiana state flag. Gold, a Mardi Gras color, of course. You know, and then you think about the connection to the plumage of the brown pelican, which I've studied for years. And then, of course, red. I mean, the red represents... I have no idea what red represents, Kevin. A large part of what they've been able to do here is centered around his offense.
Now here's Rivers. Lets it go from 14. Jack with the rebound. The Cavaliers leading by 7. Jack gets a screen from Thompson. And Jack, here we go. Here's Waiters. Off target there. That would have pushed the lead to double digits. Rivers with it. And it's Waiters picking him up. Shoots the 3. And that will fall. The three-pointer on the line from Rivers. Rivers has got 5 points now this quarter. Cleveland's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the 4th. Jack against Rivers. Jack dishes to Waiters. Back to Jack. And he gets it to go. Jack's got 10 points in just the second half.
Late reaction from the defense, and he's always going to make good on that.
Now a timeout called by New Orleans.
Well, he sees something that he doesn't like. I'm not sure what it is, but I think he's going to make some changes here.
I think you've got to make your adjustments pretty quickly like he's doing here. Otherwise, you know, things can get out of hand. So this is a good timeout.
A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Guys, over that last break, I listened to Monty Williams address his team. He loved the work they were doing on the interior, saying, listen, they've got no answer for us inside, and we're not going to let them off the hook now. Keep pounding it down low.
Thanks, Doris. A shot, and he buries that one, drilling the rim on the way down. And now an 8-point Cavalier lead. The Pelicans have gotten 4 of their 6 shots to fall so far here in the 4th. A pretty nice efficiency there. It's stolen by Dang. And Jack kicks to Waiters. 1:14 left in the 4th quarter. There's the feed to Hawes. Shoots from the right block, and the Cavaliers get another bucket right there.
I think this is a game they have to feel good about as we wind through the final moments here in what looks to be a solid win for the Cavaliers.
Good point, Steve. And Clark, they had to battle for this win. There were times when it looked like it was maybe slipping away a bit, but they never let that happen, which I thought was a real credit to them.
I like their fortitude, their toughness, particularly in terms of dealing with adversity. Anytime things didn't go their way, they just put their nose down and stayed with it. And because of that, they were able to pull away.
And on the year, this will turn out to be win number 34 for them.
Well, at least they spare themselves the embarrassment of being swept in the season series by winning this game.
And that's huge. There's a big difference between dropping 2 out of 3 as opposed to getting swept.
You look at the stats and you'll see just how dominant a game this was for Irving. Just an outpouring of points from him. Nobody could do anything really to stop him.
Looking to end the run, and that's good for 2. 24 seconds left in the 4th quarter. And Jack, here we go. The putback, it's good on the putback. Hawes got the lead up to 12 now for the Cavs.
Boy, you relish these sorts of road games where you come in and you get the job done.
In a long schedule with the kinds of pressure of travel and tough opponents throughout the season, it's always good when you play a game like they have here.
And so it's Cleveland taking care of business in this one. Some days, Clark, everything goes